Innovation, imagination, wonder. These are just some of the words used to describe Dr. Harvey Passes. Dr. Passes explores interesting people and ideas that will stimulate you. He questions the people who develop, create, and employ novel concepts in business and everyday lives. He especially loves to speak with successful people. How did they do it? How can you do it too? So let's join Dr. Harvey Passes in his quest of wonder and curiosity as we watch Dr. Harvey Passes Presents.
Great cufflinks.
Oh, thanks.
It's my previous business.
We're back. Yes, we're back. We're back on Long Island, and we are going to enjoy a wonderful day on the North Fork of Long Island. We're going to take a little visit to a wonderful winery. Actually, we're going to, I think it's the oldest winery on Long Island. Is that not so?
That's true.
Okay, with the oldest vineyard. They have many other vineyards as well, but it is on that site that the oldest grapes that are grown on Long Island are still in existence. And the rule still holds today: the older the vine, the better the wine. So I want to introduce to you right now Anne-Marie Borghese from, what's the name of the winery, Anne-Marie?
Castello di Borghese.
Castello di Borghese.
Great to see you.
Piacere, piacere.
Yes,
Well, we're not going
yes.
to Italy, we're just going to the North Fork of Long Island. And what town is the winery on in?
Castello di Borghese is in Cutchogue.
Cutchogue.
And we're on the Route 48, the North Road, which is parallel to the other 25 road. And so a lot of people only realize there's only, they think there's only one road in North Fork, but there's actually two.
That's right.
So
Thank God for those two roads, because
Absolutely.
one you can absolutely die from because you got a light like every other
Bumper to
street,
bumper.
bumper to bumper.
Bumper to
But a
bumper.
lot of people don't. We're gonna don't tell anybody. But if you take Sound Avenue, take 48,
Yes.
and you just take that, you can zip
Straight out.
one. And there's even like a 2-lane road that
We're
opens
right
up.
when it becomes
That's right, the
4
2
lanes. Well,
4
2
lanes
lanes
altogether.
each way.
Right,
Yes,
right. And
that's
it's
it.
empty. No one knows about it. And it's great. Shh, no one will know about it. It's okay. We're on television.
Well,
Anyway.
I know. We want everybody to know about it.
Want
so.
everybody to know about it. Only kidding, only kidding. Okay, we've got lots to talk about.
Yes.
First, I want to discuss the wines that you produce, and we'll get a chance to taste some of them that you have here, and also how old the vineyard is. And how old is the vineyard?
Well, the original vines were planted in 1973, and that's why we call our Sauvignon Blanc the Founder's Field, because it's coming from that particular vineyard. And then the different grapes that were planted over the different times. You know, the youngest being our Pinot Noir, which is what we're also going to taste.
Right.
Those are about 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And those are our two signature wines, the Sauvignon Blanc and the Pinot
And
Noir.
the Pinot Noir. I love Pinot Noir, and I love Sauvignon Blanc.
So do I.
They're just marvelous, and I love
Yeah.
the way Long Island makes it.
Well,
The
it's
soil is
really
something
nice.
special about it. Is it the drainage?
Well, there's the drainage. You also have, you know, sandy loam, which makes it...
I used to date Sandy Loam. No,
It's a really wonderful soil to grow wine in, and it just works really well. We're also in the widest part of Cutchogue, which means we're very protected from the elements of the water, and we're just in a microclimate, and it's a really beautiful, perfect area to grow wine.
I'm told that Cutchogue is considered the sunniest spot in New York State. Is that
true? That is true.
Well,
and
that's
it is
great
sunny
for grapes.
all the time. Well, it is great for the grapes. We
tough
have
to say,
more
great
than
for
yeah,
grapes.
yeah. We have more than enough sunny days. You need so many sun hours over the year to produce the wines, and we certainly have lots of sun. Sometimes you really need to wear your sunglasses from the time you get up till the time you go to bed. But it's great. It's a beautiful place, and it's a perfect place.
You know, a lot of people don't realize one beautiful aspect of Long Island, and this has been going on for thousands of years on Long Island. It's a little finger, which everybody knows, going out into the Atlantic, and it's surrounded on 3 sides, we'll say, with water. The other
Exactly.
side, well, actually it's 4. And it's got a unique maritime climate, which for centuries has allowed a longer growing season
Right.
than inland
Yes,
on the
that's true.
mainland USA,
That's true.
which gives the grapes and other produce a chance to really just mature and to bring on a lot of good sugar in
Yes.
in the fruit or the vegetable. Correct?
It's true. It's true. It's absolutely true. You can, be in the middle of the winter, and I'll leave the house, and as I travel back west to go to the city or whatever, you can just feel the temperature change as you're
Change.
going. And some vineyards, over the seasons, unfortunately, have had a harder winter and have lost, their crop and things like that, where we have not even had really cold weather or snow or anything, and just an hour west, it's a totally different climate. So, yeah, it's the beauty of that being surrounded by the water.
Well, let's get a chance right now to first do our first tasting on the fruit of the vine that you've prepared, which is so divine. Okay, and we'll start with the Sauvignon Blanc?
The Founder's Field. I thought we would put these in the little tasting glasses just to give you an idea of the proper size of a tasting glass. And what it means really to come to the vineyard and do a tasting as opposed to a drinking or a glass of wine. So thank you. Trade glasses over here.
Thank you.
So typically, now this is a little bit of a heavier pour if you're in the tasting room. You should have like an ounce so that you realize how much wine you're drinking by the time you're done your tasting. If you were to have 5 tastings, it equals a 5-ounce glass. So your tastings should really be an ounce.
It should just be a taste.
And this is really probably about almost double what you would get, as a pour.
Well, you're in my tasting room right now.
That's right, and you're a heavy-handed taster, so there you go.
No, but it's true. Good. People are not supposed to come out there to and get loaded. You want to taste.
Exactly.
And then you get a taste. You get a chance to go around to the different wineries, see what our local is all about. That's what excites me. Local.
Exactly.
And
well, with that, you taste a lot of things. You get the confidence of knowing what you like, what you prefer, which way do you want to go, something that's lighter, something that's heavier. Now, what's interesting about this wine, our Founder's Field, you're probably sensing a little bit of an oak in there. We do about 20% oak in the reserve level, which is not really typical in the Sauvignon Blanc, but we decided to do it because we're all about wine and food pairing. We're very, very much into that the wines are palate friendly and food friendly. So in the summer, I think that this is a really nice, more dinner weight wine rather than a sipping wine. So if you're going to get into the middle of the dinner, you want something a little bit more full bodied than
substantial
something
to hold up to sauces and everything.
Yes, exactly. And also too, like in the winter, sometimes I'll start with the very first course with this wine, and it's got a little bit more of a mouthfeel, a little bit more full bodiedness because it's got that little bit of French oak in there.
I don't know how I did it, and maybe I'm looking for something that's not there. But in this nose, I thought I got a pinch of anise. Do you get something like that? A little bit of anise?
I do, actually. And I tasted this wine yesterday, and I didn't smell it then, so.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Lovely wine.
Very good. Yeah.
Lovely wine. Wow.
Very grapefruity, very
citrusy,
nice.
Without being overly acid.
Right.
I don't get that prickle acid, which might be too bracing. And I'm getting a good citrusy effect here, but I am getting the effects of the oak, and it's rounding it out a bit in my mouth, and
very palate friendly.
I don't want to say licorice, because that's okay, but I am getting
just a pinch.
Just a pinch. It's the slightest bit. It's the slightest bit. But you're right. This is a food wine.
Yes, very much.
I would not sip this on a 90-degree day sitting around the pool.
I also brought the estate level for another moment, but that's a little bit crisper, and that I would definitely use sitting around the pool just sipping.
All stainless steel?
Yes, it's all stainless steel. Yes, exactly. And that's just perfect with the summer fish that you're catching in the waters around our house, which we are on the track where everyone that's over caught and they don't really know what to do with, they always pass by the vineyard and they'll leave us little flukes or little striped bass or little Borghese or some little fabulous fish. And so it's we've got a great refrigerator, and it's always got some little specialty that's come from the water.
No floundering about fluke with you.
There you go. There you go.
I love that. The seafood's wonderful. Again, it's one of these secrets that we're keeping very low. That Long Island, especially the East End, is the way it was. And people like yourself and other winery people, they're keeping it alive. And you're doing more than keeping it alive. You're taking it to the next level, which is absolutely terrific, because without you preserving the land and keeping things green,
exactly,
it just keeps with the naturalness of everything, with the seafood, with the poultry, and
it's interesting because if you start to really try to just eat and drink local, it's amazing what you have. And if you just really focus on it for a few minutes, you can really see the bounty that's on the North Fork and all the amazing things that are coming from the amazing hours and numbers of hours of people that have put their time and their thought and their heart and their passion into doing these particular businesses, because these are not get rich quick kind of schemes. You know, farming is not what you're going to do if you wanted to, you know, change.
It's a way of life.
It is a lifestyle, which is exactly why we moved to the vineyard almost 9 years ago. We moved in '99, and we wanted a lifestyle change. My husband was moving from, you know, traveling every day from Philadelphia to New York to Manhattan.
Was he an importer of
He was
leather
involved.
goods?
He was involved in several different businesses and manufacturing and things like that. And one day, after 3 years of getting up and traveling in and out, he said, "I can't do this anymore." And so we started to look for the perfect solution to have a lifestyle
Perfect
change.
solution. You took one of the hardest things.
Yes.
Because even if you struggle and struggle, and say you get a year like 2005,
We don't
where there
wanna
was
talk
almost
about
no
that.
rain, and you struggle, and you go, my God, this is going to be the best year ever, and it's going to be worth our efforts. And let me tell you, the effort that a farmer, winemaker puts in is considerable.
It's every day.
It's
It's
every
every
day.
day.
It's nonstop. And then the last minute, say you're ready to pick tomorrow.
Exactly.
Today, it hailstorms in September.
Exactly.
And it comes down. And your crop
Harvey,
is
I
lost.
lived this.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I know exactly
so for
what
you
you're
to say
talking
that
about.
Marco says, let's go try, I could see it in his voice.
Yes.
Let's go try something new. Let's go ahead and try something new. Let's take something that's easier so I don't have to get up in the car and drive. You took something harder, I think.
Definitely harder. But over time, you start to really appreciate and understand
The life.
what you're doing and the lifestyle that you have. And you really realize how few other people will ever experience this style of life. And it's amazing. It's totally amazing.
You're absolutely correct in everything
Because
that
I didn't
you're
even
saying.
realize you were on the North Fork. I knew you in 2 other places, and
Right.
I had no idea that you had made the big jump to the North
Yeah,
Fork.
I loved it.
So-
I mean, one day I was, we'll just put this nice Chardonnay, which we'll talk about over here for a moment.
This is it's a gold medal from the Florida State Fair.
This
gold
is
medal
Chardonnay
winner.
05.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one day I was at a winery, listening to music and enjoying, and I just turned to my wife and I said, I don't want to go back to our home where we were, and I said, I want to sell it, and let's come up here. And she said to me, yes. Bango. The next thing we knew, came
You're
up to
there.
the North Fork.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it. The best
It's
place
a very
on earth.
special place, and I mean the magical views that you have of the sunsets in the sky and
People, unpretentious, lovely, lovely people. Terrific. Talking about unpretentious and lovely, this wine is elegant. You've got a beautiful butterscotch nose from the oak.
But in
Wonderful,
this,
but light.
what's interesting is there is no oak in this.
Go
This
away.
is an all stainless steel
Get
wine.
out of here.
This is a stainless steel wine.
I'm smelling
I know.
butterscotch. I'm
I
smelling
know.
vanilla. Where do you,
I
you
know.
have chips in there?
No, there's nothing.
That's incredible.
That's the
What
fruit.
clone to use?
That
this
is the
like
fruit.
tropical fruit clone of
You'll
Chardonnay?
have to come see it.
It's fabulous.
I know. Isn't that
I'm
amazing?
I'm very surprised.
Yes, because we have 3 levels of Chardonnay. We have one that's even simpler than this. It's just easy. It's all stainless steel as well. This one, and then we have our big barrel fermented Chardonnay. I know it's impossible to
This
think.
is lip smacking.
I know, it's great.
This is,
Gold medal.
well, besides gold medal, deservedly so. This is a wine which another winemaker uses as his definition for a food wine. A food wine is when the salivary glands start flowing after you
Before.
take a drink of the wine, a sip, and then you just want to eat and enjoy the wine with it. Emery, my hat's off to you and
Thank
Marco.
you.
This is fabulous. This
I know.
is
I just
fabulous.
love it. I love the smell. I love the smell of this.
This
were
is one
so-
of the best stainless steel shards that I've come across.
Very good.
This is excellent.
I'm really thrilled to
Excellent.
hear that. You'll have to come out and experience
Oh.
all 3 of them side by side. And
Oh,
understand,
absolutely.
You know, the differences
Sure.
in them.
That's
But we were
fabulous.
very happy with this wine because particularly we always win the medals for the reds and the reserves. And this is a wonderful wine because it is an estate level. It's, you know, a wine that most people can understand. Most people can come and, you know, have this one at the tasting room and take it home with them. And it's really, really just a great
It's easy.
food friendly.
It's easy.
food friendly. It's palate friendly. It's not overly complex. You taste it, you smell it, you like it, you drink it. You know, it's a wonderful wine.
Excellent,
Good.
excellent, excellent,
I'm glad you
excellent.
like this
I mean,
one.
just fabulous. I mean, it's, you know, it's in the studio and we're getting it at room temp.
Exactly.
Actually, it's warmer than room temp. These lights around us are like, you know, fry an egg. If this was just chilled a hair, I think it would add a different dimension. But
Absolutely.
but
'Cause for
the
me,
wine is incredible.
For me, it's interesting because I don't usually taste it at this temperature. So even the first one I tasted, I was like, oh, this has got a little bit different nuance because they are much warmer than what I would taste them if I was in the tasting room.
Right.
And I don't think white wine should be icy cold. I'm not saying that, but
It's
at
like
the same
hiding garlic
time,
and bad fish.
it's somewhere between this temperature and a little bit more chill.
Just a hair more. That's all.
Yeah.
To give it a little backbone as far as
Christmas.
That's the word. A little crispness to it. But dynamite wine.
Thank you.
Dynamite wine. Absolutely.
Well, we're really excited about the wines that are coming in now and what we're doing in the cellar. And Marco's much more involved in the cellar, and we've been working with different consultants and trying to bring out, the best qualities in each wine, each varietal that we do. And we do a lot of varietals. We do more varietals than most vineyards out there.
Tell me about your varietals.
Well, our signature wines are the Sauvignon Blanc and the Pinot Noir, which we're going to drink a little later. Next, actually. We do, of course, Merlot, Chardonnay. We do Riesling, Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon. We do two Bordeaux blends. We do a dessert wine. And so every one of those wines we do at multiple levels. You might have a non-vintage, an estate, a reserve, and a premium level.
So you have a big portfolio.
We have a big portfolio. Yeah.
Wow. So how many would you say different types of wine do you have?
Varietal 7.
But then within each varietal,
many.
You said you had 3 Chardonnays.
Yeah. So we might have 19, 20 wines
That's
at one time.
That's my point. You may have 19, 20 wines.
Yeah.
What's your total output, roughly?
We do about 8,000, 9,000 cases a year.
Wow.
So it's a nice.
It's grown since you took over.
Yes, a little bit. Well, sales get better, then it's easier to have more wine when you can sell better. So it's kind of one thing goes hand in hand. I think a lot more people are starting to realize that New York has a wine region. It has more than one wine region, and people are starting to appreciate this idea of taking local beyond just eating local or doing something local, but actually drinking local. And that's the most important thing for New York. If they want to keep the farms out there, the vineyards out there,
do it.
Come and taste and enjoy and support it. And that's really important.
Do you know, on a weekend, I called you yesterday or the day before, and I spoke to you, and I was
Saturday.
Yeah,
yes.
And I called you just to discuss the show,
yes.
And you were very polite, and you were saying to me, you answered me, you said, and I started to go more, and not realizing where you are, and I should have. Yeah. And you said to me, you didn't say, I don't mean to be rude. You said, please understand, I have like 60 people in front of me in the tasting room.
Yeah.
People come out there on the weekends in the hordes to experience the joy that
This was a particular group, and so they had come out. We do a fabulous thing called the Winemaker's Walk every Thursday and Sunday in season and Saturday out of season. It's always at 1 o'clock. You can check the website and see what days it's on. But what I do is I give a private tour for groups. It's a prepaid, pre-organized thing. They come, they do a whole visitation to the fermentation room. They look at all the process. I show them the grapes. I do a whole comparative thing. And then I give them the Borghese Classic tasting. And I do a very comparative tasting. Mostly the people that come to the vineyard to do the tasting really don't know very much about wine. You can sense the tension. They really don't want to make a mistake.
They don't want to be intimidated.
And I try to say, look, it's, have fun. We're going to go talk about stuff. By the time you leave this experience, you're going to know what you like, what you don't like, and why you don't like it or why you like it.
Education.
And that's all it is.
It's not selling Borghese wines. It's education on wine.
Yes.
Which is what people need.
I had a great question from someone.
Wow.
A gentleman.
Excuse me. While you're talking, the bouquet jumped right out of the glass and hit me in the nose before I even swirled it.
Bing cherries.
Wow. Yeah, the delicious Bing cherries is right with a little sugar beet in the nose, a little candy apple.
You can see why it's a signature wine.
Oh, great wine. I'm sorry. So you're talking about the people coming by.
Yeah.
Who cares about them? Let's talk about this wine.
Okay, let's talk about this. This is my favorite wine.
Let's talk about the Pinot Noir. This is, oh, wow, I'm distracted by it. And look at the viscosity. It's got nice legs. What impresses me about the Long Island wines, if they resemble anywhere else in the world, it's more France. It's more French. It's more Bordelais. Right. As opposed to people tasting it and they go, well, it's not really my cup of tea. Not tea, but they're thinking of California, where you've got these big alcoholic fruit bombs. Nothing wrong with that.
If you like that.
If you like that, there's nothing wrong with it.
Like that.
I like it, but I like these. These wines are very elegant.
Yes.
Molto elegante. Very nice. Let's talk about this wine.
Great
Talk to
food
me.
wine. Great wine to have just as a glass of wine. This is a wine. We just opened this bottle maybe 15, 20 minutes ago before the show started. This is a wine that will open up even more so. It's so beautiful. It's got a great nose. Yes.
Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Great Long Island duck.
Oh, yeah.
You can see, you can even have this with, a beautiful light pork or something that's in the fish.
Chicken.
You can do it with chicken. Chicken with rosemary is beautiful with this. This to me is like an all-purpose wine. You can drink this with anything.
I know a great dish for this that you haven't even mentioned.
And what is that?
I love Pinot Noir with.
What is that?
Peking duck.
Well, I said Long Island duck.
You did.
Okay.
It goes so great with the hoisin sauce.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. Pinot Noir, to me, I love my Gewürztraminer and my Rieslings and all of that. But this is wonderful. It's terrific.
This is our estate level. We have another one that's above this. That's our reserve level. This, to me, is more in a European style. Mm-hmm. Very fruit forward, lovely round, nice mouthfeel. The reserve wine is going to be a little bit more full-bodied, a little bit more complex, a little bit bigger.
Is it oaked?
More oak. A lot more oak. This has oak. This has oak.
Lightly, though.
Lightly oak. This is French oak.
French oak. 3 to 6 months?
I'm not exactly sure of it.
Okay.
A little too technical.
But the other estate has
much longer.
Much longer.
Much longer. It's probably double to triple the amount.
And again, all the wines that we taste come from your property.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything's from
Everything's
property.
estate grown, estate bottled.
Everything is on the property. Everything is done by hand.
Perfect.
Even down to, filling the bottles, the capsules, the labels, preparing them, taking them to the front, everything. And then pretty much for the most part, they're hand sold from the tasting room. We're really trying to get more involved with, people understanding to ask for Long Island wines and, think about the regional wines that they have in their own backyard. We're only 90 miles from Manhattan.
Look, it's better than getting on a plane and looking for a wick in somebody's shoe if they're going to blow up the plane.
Well,
better to get in your own car and drive out to your own wine country. Fabulous wine. Before we go to the next wine, which is
I think I'm going to stay on this one. No.
I don't blame you. It's again, my compliments. Elegant wine.
Thank you.
You have your Castello di Borghese, 2001 Reserve Merlot.
Yes.
And while I'm pouring, I'm going to tell you to keep the date of July 23rd open so that you and Marco can come over for we have a winemaker's barbecue.
Oh, wow.
We have a huge assortment of winemakers come over and spend the day in the
Excellent.
afternoon. It's a Monday. So it's easier.
Perfect.
Yeah,
My favorite
That's
day.
why we picked that day.
Well, everybody does everything on Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Monday in the afternoon, you come over, I'll speak to you about it. You get an invitation.
That sounds
but
great.
You'll enjoy it. You'll know everybody.
Good. Well, that's
It'll be a lot of fun. Let's talk about this wine. I see it says Hargrave Vineyard. You want to explain that?
These are our old labels, and one of the interesting things about the Merlot was after the movie Sideways, Pinot Noir took off like wildfire.
Correct.
And we're one of the very few that does Pinot Noir on the North Fork. And as you can see, this bottle, I believe, is 04.
04.
And this is
01.
Okay. So you can see what happened in between those years. We were selling much more of the Pinot Noir. What is really beautiful about the Merlot, though, is that it's had so many more years of bottle aging. And that is a yummy, yummy wine. And
lamb.
Oh, yeah.
I could take this with some lamb or
And
sirloin.
Merlot has never been like one of my favorite wines. It's always like last on the list what I would really pick.
Kind of supple.
I just kind of liked other things and always looked for another wine, something different, a different grape. But what's happened is every time I do my winemaker's walk now, I want people to see what some bottle aging is like on Long Island, because typically you don't get a wine that's that old just on the rack. It's usually on something archive rack, or you get something much more expensive.
True.
And this is, we have had this bottled for quite a while, and it's delicious. It's drinking well.
I will tell
and
you
it's really a wonderful wine.
It's true what you're saying. You'll see something that'll be maybe 03 and 04, and you go, wow, because most of the wineries, the bulk, the wines are gone.
They're gone in 9
gone.
months. They're gone in a year.
They're gone.
Yeah.
They're just, it's you have to somehow try to archive these wines and hold them back in your own library. This is wonderful. We've got about 4 minutes left.
The nose of this is gorgeous.
This is wonderful. What other comments do you want to? We've got about 4 minutes left to the show. What other comments would you
I just
like
want to say
make?
thank you so much for having me on the show.
I love having
Absolutely.
you on. You've got to come on again.
You have to come out and visit us. I also
Absolutely.
grew these for
Whoa.
the field, and these are for Margie. And
Oh, my wife will love these.
we planted this lavender about 3 years ago, and it's the season to cut it right now.
She's
July.
crazy about lavender.
Well,
She's
you'll have to
gonna
come
go
out and
wild
cut some
with
more
this.
then.
She loves the smell of this, and she likes making dried lavender that she also cooks with when
Yes,
like a Provence-style
This
lamb.
is beautiful. It's a
You know,
beautiful thing.
that's great. Thank you
Good.
so much. This is
You're
wonderful.
welcome. Let me
She's
put it
absolutely
back
love the
there.
smell. The bouquet is just incredible. What do you have coming up in the future on wine? You have anything you're experimenting with? I spoke to Marco about your dessert wines, and that's so small.
Well, we're at the
that's
two ends of the
allocated?
thing. We have our Meritage, which is what we're very happy with, the
So
Bordeaux blend.
You're selling magnums?
We have magnums of that. We have magnums of all of our reserve wines, actually.
Oh, that's great.
And this is our Bordeaux blend, which is predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon. We also have a Borghese Private Reserve that's in a mag only. This comes in a 750 as well. The Borghese Private Reserve is a mag, and that's predominantly Cabernet Franc, and that's a beautiful wine. That's really, really interesting. The Allegra wine was made in 2003. Originally, it was made out of Riesling. Now it's made out of Chardonnay. It's our dessert wine that we named after our daughter Allegra.
Pretty name.
When she was about to turn, she was going to turn sweet 16. She did not want a sweet 16 party because we changed lifestyles, and we had purchased all these French futures for her party, and then we moved, of course, to a vineyard. So we decided to make a wine after her. So we named the dessert wine Allegra. And it's made now of the Chardonnay.
Of the Chardonnay.
Yes.
So it's a late harvest Chardonnay,
Yes.
or it's an ice wine Chardonnay?
It's more late harvest.
It's a late harvest.
Yes.
Do you have it every year? Because every year
We've had it for the last 4 years. We've had it for the
kidding.
last 4 years. So yeah. So we'll see.
I'd love to taste that.
You will when you come and visit us.
I would love to taste that. It's wonderful.
Looking forward to
I
it.
love Long Island dessert wines. I just think they're out of this world.
Yeah.
They're just fantastic. How many years are you and Marco doing this now?
1999. So going on 9 years.
9 years already.
In October. Yeah, we'll be going on 9 years. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And it went like that. It was in a heartbeat.
They say, you're not going to like this, they say life is like a roll of toilet paper. The older you get, they say, what does it say? The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes.
Oh, maybe. Maybe that's it.
And it's true. You turn around. I can't believe it. It seems like yesterday you came to our other home. We had dinner.
That's right.
It's like
that's
yesterday.
Right.
Now you're telling me it's like about 9 years, 8 years, something like that.
And I didn't even realize you were living on the North Fork.
You see that? Just like that.
Yeah.
It
And
just,
you've been there how long?
well, we've been there about 2 years already.
Yeah. So,
Which is amazing.
Well, you're so busy doing what you're doing, and you're so focused on trying to get your product into the bottle and onto the shelves, and having all your group and all of that it's really
No, definitely. We're going to come out and visit. Absolutely, we'd love
Absolutely.
to. You're only a few minutes away.
Yes.
It's not a big deal at all. Well, we're just about out of time. I mean, I really enjoyed this, and I think that it's a great experience for people to take the time and to see what we've got naturally here. People have to realize that Long Island isn't all concrete. It's not all malls. It's not all just a bunch of housing.
Well, people are astounded when I say that I live in Cutchogue. They go, "Oh, Patchogue." I go,
No, Cutchogue.
About an hour and a half past that is where I live. And then once you get to my house, you have another half an hour of the United States, and then you're at the end. So
that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
The next stop after that is England.
Yes.
It's truly amazing. People don't appreciate.
Well, they call it Long Island for a reason.
It's long. It's long.
Yes.
I'll tell you, when I get off at exit 71 on the highway, and I just make a left turn on Edwards Avenue, and once I go under the highway, under the LIE, and I continue going about maybe a quarter of a mile, and all of a sudden, the fields open up, and your sod farms and all the other farms open up. I take a deep breath,
and
let
it's
it
another
out,
world.
and the blood pressure drops down, and I go, wow, I'm home. It's like being in Eden. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
It's a magical place, and if you have the opportunity to go visit, it's spectacular. I mean, there's multiple buses that come out from the city daily.
Just
There's
get in
trains.
your car and go out, stay in a B&B, have a ball, eat local there, eat at restaurants, and go to your winery and other wineries and have a good time. We're out of time, Anne-Marie Borghese. I'm going to say Di Borghese. Anne-Marie Borghese, thank you very much for coming by.
Very welcome,
and for
Harvey.
sharing your wonderful fruit of the vine with me and
Thank you.
our wonderful viewers. And we'll get a chance to see you real soon.
Very good.
And thank you very much for the lavender.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Okay, and say hi to
Look
Marco.
forward to seeing you.
July 23rd. We'll
Very
talk
good.
more about it.
Sounds great.
I hope
Thank
you enjoyed yourself, and we had a lot of fun. I always love going out to the East End. We have such a great time. It's terrific. Enjoy Long Island. Not just going to the malls and everything else and going to work, but we've got great vacation spots and places for you to take a minute and just let your blood pressure drop like I do. So, as I always say, Dr. Pass is saying, whatever you do, like Anne-Marie Borghese and her husband Marco, Do it with passion, or what's the use? Take care. See you next time.